Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to uncover some hidden opportunities in the NEMT world. Today's deep dive is all about a path to success that, honestly, a lot of people just totally miss.
It's kind of overlooked.
It's ditching those low-paying contracts and going after high-value private pay clients.
Exactly.
The people who really value that top-notch service and are ready to pay for it.
That's right.
We're going deep into this guide called Private Pay to Millions today.
Okay.
And we've got some really insightful YouTube videos from some real NEMT pros.
Yeah, some great advice out there.
And you know what? They all say the same thing.
What's that?
There's a gold mine out there for NEMT businesses.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even in those smaller cities.
Uh-huh.
If you know how to tap into it.
The trick is knowing where to look.
I gotta admit, at first when I heard about making serious money with private pay in NEMT, I was like, really?
I get it.
But then I saw these income projections and wow.
Yeah, it gets you thinking.
It got my wheels turning for sure.
What's interesting is this approach lines up with what we know about successful businesses.
Okay, how so?
It's all about finding those underserved niches and meeting their needs better than anyone else.
Right.
Think about it. Not everyone qualifies for Medicaid transportation.
That's true.
And some people just want a higher level of service,
Makes sense.
even if they have to pay a little extra for it.
Okay, so let's break this down.
All right.
What's the scope of this gold mine we're talking about? Like, how much money are we actually talking about here?
So the U.S. healthcare industry is massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
We're talking trillions of dollars spent every single year.
Trillions with a T.
AT.
You might think, okay, what does a trillion-dollar industry have to do with me and my little NEMT business?
Right.
But this is where it gets interesting. Even a tiny slice of that pie can mean huge growth for your business.
Absolutely.
And you know what? According to our sources, Medicaid alone spends roughly $3 billion every year on NEMT.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
$3 billion. Just imagine tapping into even a fraction of the private pay market on top of that.
Now you're talking.
Suddenly, those income projections don't seem so far-fetched.
Ooh.
But hold on. How do we reach these private pay clients? They're not exactly knocking down our doors.
That's where Private Pay to Millions gets really tactical. It advocates for a strategy that might surprise you,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
targeting high-income areas.
Really?
Think about it. Those are the folks who really value convenience,
Okay,
personalized care,
makes sense.
and they're willing to pay for it.
So ditch the bargain basement and head straight for the luxury suite.
Aha, exactly.
Now, some of you listening might be working with brokers.
Right, those companies that connect you with clients.
Yeah, but take a cut of your earnings.
Yep.
This approach cuts out the middleman.
You're in control.
But how do we pinpoint these high-income zones? Do we just drive around looking for fancy cars?
It's a little more strategic than that. The guide suggests looking for specific markers of affluence.
Like what?
Think Target shopping centers,
Oh.
luxury car dealerships,
All right.
those private schools where the kids wear blazers, upscale rehab facilities,
Oh, yeah.
the places where people with disposable income tend to congregate.
Gotcha. So it's all about understanding the demographics and tailoring your services to their needs and expectations.
Exactly.
So instead of casting a wide net and hoping to catch a few fish, we're dropping a line right where the big ones are biting.
You got it.
But how do we get their attention? Do we start handing out flyers at the country club?
Not quite. Private Pay to Millions has a modern solution.
Okay, tell me more.
Harnessing the power of free social media marketing.
Social media, everyone's favorite time suck. But how do we make that work for a business like NEMT?
That's where those YouTube videos come in clutch. They're packed with insights from folks who've actually cracked the code.
I like it.
They emphasize having a strong online presence,
Okay,
building trust,
gotcha.
showcasing your expertise.
So we're not just posting selfies and cat videos, right?
Definitely not. Think of your social media profiles as your virtual storefront.
Okay.
Do you want to make them inviting, informative, and engaging? The guide actually gives you a step-by-step social media strategy.
Wow, really?
From joining relevant Facebook groups to crafting compelling content that showcases your services.
So we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, maybe even TikTok dances with wheelchairs.
Maybe not the dances, but you get the idea. And here's a platform you might not expect. Pinterest.
Pinterest for NEMT.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these sources. They challenge our assumptions.
Yeah.
Turns out Pinterest, with its focus on health, family, and planning, is surprisingly effective for reaching decision makers.
Interesting.
The people who often arrange transportation for their loved ones Think adult children looking for solutions for their aging parents.
Oh, I see.
Or folks planning accessible vacations.
That's pretty brilliant, actually. But let's be real, managing all these social media platforms sounds like a full-time job.
Huh? I know, right?
How much time are we talking about here?
Private pay to millions estimates. You only need to invest about an hour and 15 minutes per week.
An hour and 15.
To make this work. It's all about consistency and smart strategies like scheduling posts in advance.
Okay.
Using tools to manage multiple accounts.
That's manageable. Even for us busy NEMT folks. But here's the million-dollar question. Does all this social media effort actually bring in paying clients?
The sources say it absolutely can. But there's another crucial piece of the puzzle we need to talk about.
Okay, I'm all ears. Spill the beans.
It's all about building relationships. Not just online, but in the real world, too. We need to connect with the people making transportation decisions on a daily basis.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. We're talking about nurses, case managers, those folks working in hospitals and care facilities.
Exactly. The ones on the ground seeing the need for reliable transportation every day.
So we're going old school networking, shaking hands, handing out business cards.
Well, that's part of it. But those YouTube videos offered some surprisingly unconventional wisdom on this front.
Oh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's not just about dropping off your card at the front desk. It's about building genuine connections.
Okay.
Taking the time to chat with the nurses, learn their names, and maybe even bring a small treat to share.
Wait, like bringing cookies to the nurse's station? Is that what you're suggesting?
It might sound a little old-fashioned, but it can be incredibly effective. There's a story in one of those videos about a case manager who became a huge referral source after receiving a simple gift of banana pudding.
Banana pudding, huh? Maybe I should stock up on that. But seriously, I get it. It's about being thoughtful, remembering people's names, and showing genuine interest in them.
Absolutely. And it's about understanding their needs. Those nurses and case managers are dealing with a lot every day. If you can make their lives easier by providing reliable, compassionate transportation for their patients, you'll quickly become an invaluable resource.
All right, this all sounds great, but let's get down to brass tacks. How much can we realistically earn by focusing on private pay clients? I mean, we talked about those income projections, but are they just pie in the sky?
Well, let's pull back the curtain and see what Private Pay to Millions has to say. They actually break down potential earnings based on the size of your city and the number of clients you secure each week.
Okay, I'm ready for some numbers. Hit me.
Even in a smaller city, with just a handful of private pay clients per week, you could potentially bring in a very respectable income. We're talking about supplementing your existing business, maybe even replacing those low-paying contracts.
Okay, that's encouraging. But what about those of us in larger metropolitan areas? Where's the real money at?
Hold on to your hats because this is where things get exciting. In a major city with a consistent flow of private pay clients, you could potentially...
Wait. Don't spill the beans just yet. Let's save the big reveal for part 2. We've got to keep our listeners on the edge of their seats. But seriously, folks, if you're tired of the constant struggle for decent paying contracts, this deep dive is a must listen.
We're just scratching the surface here. Stay tuned, because in part 2, we'll delve deeper into those income projections, dissect the social media strategies, and uncover even more unconventional wisdom from those YouTube videos. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back to our deep dive into private pay riches in the NEMT world.
All right, so last time we talked about finding those high-income areas and using social media to connect with potential clients.
Right.
Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty of how to make those platforms actually work for us.
Let's do it.
So we're not just posting random pictures of our vans, are we?
Yeah.
We need a strategy, a plan of attack.
Absolutely.
What's the secret sauce to making social media work for an NEMT business?
Well, one of the most important things, and this comes straight from private pay to millions, is to speak the language of your audience.
Okay.
Don't get bogged down in all that industry jargon.
Right.
Or brag about how many trips you've made.
I see.
Instead, connect with their needs and their interests.
So less about us, more about them.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do that? I mean, I'm not exactly a social media guru.
You don't have to be.
Sure.
The guide breaks it down into these simple, actionable steps.
Okay, good.
One of my favorite tips is to piggyback on events and conversations that are already happening in your target demographic.
Like what? Could you give me an example?
Remember that Facebook post they suggested about National Pancake Day?
Oh, yeah.
Who's taking granddad for pancakes?
That's a good one. It's relatable. It's lighthearted, and it subtly positions your service as the solution.
Right.
Granddad wants pancakes, but maybe he can't drive anymore.
Exactly.
Boom, you're there to save the day.
You got it. You're not just selling transportation. You're selling an experience.
I like that.
A chance for Granddad to enjoy those pancakes with his family.
So we need to get creative. Think outside the box.
For sure.
What else can we do to make our social media pop?
The YouTube videos really emphasize the power of visuals.
Okay.
People are way more likely to scroll past a wall of text than they are a captivating image or video.
Right. So we're talking about pictures of our shiny vans, maybe some happy clients enjoying their rides.
That's a great start. But you can get even more creative.
How so?
Think about showcasing the human side of your business.
Okay.
Introduce your drivers, highlight your commitment to safety, or even share some behind-the-scenes snippets of your day-to-day operations.
I like that. Show them we're not just some faceless corporation.
Exactly.
We're real people providing a valuable service to the community.
Right.
But speaking of real people, let's circle back to those nurses and case managers we talked about earlier.
Okay.
I'm still curious about those unconventional networking tactics. What was that about banana pudding?
Right. It's not just about showing up at a facility and dropping off business cards.
Gotcha.
It's about building those genuine connections, going the extra mile to show that you care.
So we're talking about more than just a handshake and a hello.
Yeah.
We need to actually build rapport with these people.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And sometimes small gestures can go a long way.
Like the banana pudding.
Exactly. That story about the case manager who loved banana pudding well, she became a huge referral source for that NEMT provider.
So banana pudding is the key to success.
Maybe.
I should invest in some industrial-sized baking pans.
There you go.
But seriously, I get it. It's about being thoughtful, remembering people's names, and showing genuine interest in them.
It really is. And it's also about understanding their needs.
Right.
Those nurses and case managers are dealing with a lot every single day.
Yeah, their jobs are tough.
If you can make their lives a little bit easier by providing reliable, compassionate transportation for their patients, you'll quickly become an invaluable resource to them.
All right, so this all sounds great, but let's be real for a moment. How much can we realistically earn by focusing on private pay clients?
Okay.
I mean, we've talked about those income projections, but are they just pie in the sky?
Well, let's pull back the curtain and see what Private Pay to Millions has to say. They actually break down potential earnings based on the size of your city and the number of clients you secure each week.
All right, I'm ready for some numbers. Hit me.
Even in a smaller city, with just a handful of private pay clients each week, you could potentially bring in a very respectable income.
Okay, that's good to hear.
We're talking about supplementing your existing business,
Yeah.
maybe even replacing those low-paying contracts.
That's encouraging, but what about those of us in larger metropolitan areas where the demand is higher and people are used to paying a premium for services?
Now, hold on to your hats because this is where things get exciting. In a major city with a consistent flow of private pay clients, you could potentially...
Wait. Don't spill the beans just yet. Let's save the big reveal for part 3.
Oh, all right.
We've got to keep our listeners on the edge of their seats. But seriously, folks, if you're tired of scraping by, if you're ready to take your NEMT business to the next level, this is the information you've been waiting for. Stay tuned because we're about to break down those income projections and give you the tools to make them a reality.
But before we get to those juicy numbers, let's talk about something that can make or break your private pay success, setting the right rates.
Ugh, the money talk. This is where things can get a little tricky. How do we strike that balance between charging what we're worth and staying competitive?
That's a great question. And Private Pay to Millions has some valuable insights on this.
Okay, good.
Remember, you're not just offering a ride, you're providing a premium service.
Right.
Convenience, reliability, personalized care. These things have value, and you should be compensated accordingly.
So we're not afraid to charge a little more than the average Joe.
Exactly.
But how do we figure out what that premium price actually is?
The guide actually suggests a pretty clever tactic.
What's that?
Call up 3 competing companies, get their average rate, and then increase yours by 10–15%. You're positioning yourself as a higher-end option, but you're still staying within a reasonable range.
Okay, I like that. It takes the guesswork out of it. But what if potential clients balk at the price? What if they say, hey, I can get a ride for cheaper down the street?
That's where your social media skills come into play. You've already established yourself as a trusted provider, showcasing your clean vehicles, your friendly drivers, your commitment to going above and beyond. You're not just selling a ride, You're selling an experience,
Right.
and people are willing to pay for that.
It's all about value. We're not just competing on price, we're competing on quality and service.
Exactly.
But let's be honest, there are costs involved in running an NEMT business. Gas insurance, vehicle maintenance, not to mention paying our awesome drivers.
Absolutely. And that's why setting the right rates is so crucial. You need to make sure you're covering your expenses and generating a profit that allows you to not just survive, but thrive.
So we're not just driving folks around, we're building a business, a sustainable future for ourselves and our families. That's a powerful thought.
It is. And speaking of powerful thoughts, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about another key to private pay success: exceeding client expectations.
Okay, so we've got the marketing down, we've set our rates now. How do we make sure those private pay clients keep coming back for more?
It's all about those little extras, those touches of care that show you truly value their business.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Think about the things that would make you feel valued as a customer. A friendly greeting, a helping hand, getting in and out of the vehicle, a bottle of water for the ride.
Oh, I like that. Little touches that show we're not just going through the motions, we're actually invested in their well-being.
Exactly. And remember, those private pay clients are often choosing you because they need a higher level of care and attention.
Okay.
Maybe they have mobility challenges or they're dealing with health issues.
Right.
Your compassion and understanding can make a world of difference.
So we're not just drivers, we're caregivers. We're companions. That's a pretty awesome way to think about our role.
It is. And it's a role that can be incredibly rewarding both personally and financially.
Okay, I'm feeling pumped. We've covered a lot of ground today, from social media strategies to setting rates and exceeding client expectations. What else do we need to know to conquer this private pay world?
Well, there are a few more gems of wisdom in those sources, especially when it comes to leveraging technology and building strategic partnerships.
Ooh, I love a good strategy session. But I think we've given our listeners enough to chew on for now. We'll save those insights for part 3, where we'll also reveal those tantalizing income projections.
Don't miss it. We're about to uncover the true potential of private pay in the NEMT industry.
All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've talked social media strategy, we've mastered the art of banana pudding diplomacy.
Yeah.
We've even set prices that reflect our true value as a premium service.
It's about knowing your worth.
It is. Now it's time for the grand finale.
Let's do it.
Uncovering those juicy income projections and exploring the final pieces of the private pay puzzle.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. So before we get to the numbers, let's talk about something that can really supercharge your growth as an NEMT business.
All right, what's that?
Building strategic partnerships.
Okay.
Partnerships, like teaming up with other NEMT providers. I'm all for collaboration, but wouldn't that increase competition?
Not necessarily private pay to millions. Actually suggests partnering with businesses that complement your services, but don't directly compete.
Okay, so like who?
Think party bus companies,
Okay.
car rental agencies,
I see.
even those fancy hotels with shuttle services.
Well, yeah. Most of those businesses don't have wheelchair-accessible vehicles.
Right.
So we could fill a gap in their services.
Exactly. You're tapping into a whole new client base. Folks who need reliable transportation but might not even know where to look.
Interesting.
Wedding planners, event organizers, those folks are always looking for solutions.
Yeah, that's true.
You become the hero swooping in to save the day with your accessible vans and your top-notch service.
Love it. It's like building a network of allies, each one expanding our reach and bringing us closer to those private pay riches.
Exactly.
But wait, there's more to this partnership thing, right?
Yeah.
What about those YouTube videos? Did they have any golden nuggets of wisdom to share about this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of those savvy NEMT pros
Yeah.
talked about partnering with assisted living facilities. And not just for transporting residents to appointments, but for outings, social events, even shopping trips.
That's brilliant. Those folks often have families who are more than willing to pay for services that enrich their loved ones' lives.
It's a win-win for everyone. The facility gets happy residents, the families get peace of mind, and you get a steady stream of loyal clients.
Okay, partnerships check. What else do we need to totally dominate the private pay game?
Those YouTube videos really stress the importance of staying up to date with industry trends and regulations.
Right.
The healthcare world is always changing, so you can't afford to get stuck in the past.
You're telling me things change so fast it's hard to keep up. But how do we do it? I mean, I'm busy running a business.
Yeah.
I don't exactly have time to read every industry journal and go to every conference.
You don't have to. There are plenty ways to stay informed without getting overwhelmed. Subscribe to industry newsletters.
Okay.
follow relevant social media accounts,
Yeah.
even connect with other NEMT providers in online forums or groups.
Right, the power of the internet. Speaking of which, let's talk about leveraging technology
Okay.
to streamline our operations and make our lives a little easier.
Technology can be a game changer for NEMT businesses.
You're sure?
From scheduling software to GPS tracking, there are tools out there that can automate tasks, optimize routes, manage bookings, even track your expenses.
It's like having a virtual assistant, keeping everything organized and running smoothly.
Exactly.
But let's be real, some of those tech solutions can be expensive. How do we know which ones are worth the investment?
That's where those online communities can really help. Talk to other providers, see what they're using, get their recommendations, and don't feel like you need to go all in right away.
Yeah, start small.
Start small. Focus on the tools that'll have the biggest impact on your efficiency and your profitability.
Okay, tech check. We've got our partnerships, we're staying informed, we're embracing technology. Anything else we need to cover before we unveil those income projections?
Just one more thing, and it's the most important element of all: consistently exceeding client expectations.
We talked about this a bit earlier, right? The little touches of care going above and beyond to make our clients feel valued.
That's it. It's all about creating a positive, memorable experience every single time. Think about those things that would make you feel special as a customer.
Yeah.
A clean, comfortable vehicle, a friendly greeting, a helping hand getting in and out, maybe even a bottle of water or a mint for the ride.
Right. It's the little things that make a difference.
And remember, private pay clients are often choosing you because they need a higher level of care and attention. Maybe they have mobility challenges or they're dealing with health issues.
Yeah.
Your compassion and understanding can truly make a world of difference.
So we're not just drivers, we're caregivers, we're companions. We're providing a service that goes way beyond just getting people from point A to point B.
That's right. And that's the kind of service that commands a premium price and generates those loyal long-term clients.
All right, I'm ready for those income projections. Let's see what we can achieve if we put all these strategies together.
Okay, drum roll please. Private pay to millions. Estimates that in a smaller city with just a handful of private pay clients each week, you could potentially bring in an extra $50,000 to $100,000 per year.
Wow, that's a game changer. But what about those of us in the big cities, where the demand is through the roof and people are used to paying top dollar for good service?
Now hold on to your hats because this is where it gets really exciting. In a major city with a steady stream of private pay clients, you could potentially earn upwards of $300,000 per year.
Whoa, 300,000, that's life-changing money. Suddenly those dreams of expanding my business, maybe even hiring some more drivers, don't seem so far-fetched.
It's all about shifting your mindset, embracing those strategies, and consistently delivering exceptional service. The potential is there for the taking.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling fired up. This deep dive has really opened my eyes. There's a whole world of opportunity out there for NEMT businesses. It's not about scraping by on those low-paying contracts. It's about building a business that truly serves our community and provides a good living.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to all of you listening out there, this is just the beginning. Take what you've learned today, put it into action, and see what you can achieve.
That's right. We're rooting for you.
We are. And remember, those private pay riches, they're out there just waiting for you to claim them. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep those wheels rolling.